And now I'd like to introduce Minister Ruairi Quinn, who's going to formally launch Springboard 2013. Minister.
Thank you very much. Can I welcome everybody here, including my cousin, Ruairi Quinn. You're very welcome. This is the third year of Springboard, and I think the words that you've heard before me speak for themselves. I think it is a very cooperative, constructive cooperation between the Higher Education Authority on the one hand, with all of the associated colleges and institutions in the third level sector, and the Department of Skills and Education, to put it in the reverse for the purpose of today's launch. I think the fact that 10,000 people have gone through very similar experiences to what we've already heard today from the three people, Aoife, John and Paul, is something that I think we should all be comfortable with, because it demonstrates very clearly that the model of Springboard actually works. And for history teachers who are worried about the disappearance of history from the curriculum, I think John's experience of converting his knowledge of medieval history into the modern world is, I think it underlines for me as Minister for Education, the reality that education, every aspect of education, can be mobilised and put to use if you can match that educated personality with a set of skills that the marketplace wants and which people like Joe here can employ. And quite frankly, at a meeting of education ministers during the Irish presidency last May, the fact that we were using our education system not only to educate young people, to bring them through the three levels of education with which we're familiar, but at the end of the day to be flexible in saying if the demand for one set of skills disappears or moves to another location, those people have to be assisted in a partnership which is characterised by willing employers and people like John on the one hand, or Joe I should say, and the institutions who can, at very short notice provide a level 8 course that can meet the kind of needs that Paul was looking for so successfully. So I want first and foremost to thank the HAA for the way in which they have responded to this challenge, to thank them for the way in which they have improved on the operation of Springboard. We now have real evidence and real life success stories that we can show to other people, to give confidence to other people, and to use that experience to further improve the course, as we no doubt we will do next year going forward. But it underlines the final thing that I want to say about this government's attitude to the economic and employment crisis which we were all confronted with just over 4 years ago. The government is just 27 months in office. Springboard is one of the first challenges that we had to respond to in terms of how we would deal with the calamity of unemployment for literally hundreds of thousands of people who had no experience of unemployment, whose family had never encountered the reality of the job going, notwithstanding your skills, notwithstanding your attitude to life, notwithstanding the way in which you were brought up. This was a catastrophe, a calamity on a scale and at a speed that we had never as a people encountered before. And putting Springboard together along with the other skills and jobs initiatives which have been managed both by the department and by the HEA, we weren't entirely sure that what it was we were doing would actually work. And as you know, business out there didn't necessarily know what we were trying to do. But the principle of taking somebody with a primary set of skills which are no longer required in the marketplace, building on the skills and the experience, and in both cases both are very important, as Paul clearly illustrated, building on those and then getting an academic set of institutions to respond to delivering a course that would meet market demand, and at the same time finding companies that would actually provide space so that people would be working in a real environment. There aren't many countries in Europe that are doing this, quite frankly, and there's quite a lot of them that haven't even got close to where we are currently now, which is why I was being asked questions by so many people at the May conference in Brussels. Last night I had the opportunity to meet with senior vice president in the Citigroup, Don Callaghan, who was here down in the Citigroup's offices down in Docklands. They have 4 centres in Europe, Warsaw, Budapest, Belfast and Dublin. And the Dublin centre is by far and away the more developed in terms of the skill sets and what they're doing. Over 2,500 people in that company, in Docklands alone. And what he said to me and his colleagues was, there's a worldwide shortage of people with a set of skills that the ICT world, if you like, and its related companies need and depend upon in order to maintain their present position, let alone develop it and advance it. And we are moving very rapidly to try and address that worldwide shortage, both here, where there's a shortage, as I think you'd agree, and elsewhere, where people will have the option if they want to. And what Don said to us, that they could hire more people in Ireland if they could get the right number of people with the right kinds of attitudes and skill sets. And I think an attitude is as important as the skill set itself. It's the necessity to be flexible in how you respond to changing marketplaces. And in a sense, this is the beginning of the 21st century. Lifelong learning, flexibility in how you respond to changes in the workplace. We are, in this country, I'm happy to say, finding our way more successfully, more effectively, both from an overall point of view and from the point of view of successful individuals who, along with the 10,000 who have managed to come through this course with the 6,000 places that we're now launching here today. And I want to thank everybody involved in this exercise. It does give hope, it does give a sense of renewal which we all need, and we will build on that success, learning from the lessons of the first 2 Springboard, as we clearly have. And I want to congratulate in particular the HEA for the wonderful work that they have done in managing this project on our behalf. Thank you.